opportunities. He sees the science part of political science that is indicating where people are and why and what is working and what isn't. And there's an alchemy. And you can look at Rick Wilson and just dismiss him as the Lincoln Project. He's just a never Trumper. Wrong. Trump is a symptom of the dynamic that got us where we are. He is not indicative of what comes next. And he's really not even relevant of what comes next.
Are you worried about your husband's safety in the next 29 days?
Of course I do. Yes, I do. I think, when they call him, he's a threat to democracy, let's ask ourselves, who is really a threat to democracy?
Melania Trump has officially reached her breaking point, and the Lincoln Project is to blame. Their latest bombshell about Trump has reportedly sent her into what insiders are calling a full-blown eruption. Of course, in Melania's world, that likely means an icy death stare, a glass of champagne poured just a little too aggressively, and a frantic Google search for countries without extradition treaties. Meanwhile, Trump is spiraling into panic mode, barking frantic orders as Melania weighs her options. Should she fake loyalty a little longer, or finally cash in on her be-best escape plan? When even she looks ready to disappear, the scandal is beyond saving. Buckle up, this meltdown is about to get interesting.
So America is abandoning its role as a NATO leader, abandoning its role as a world leader, abandoning its role as a country that keeps its word to its close allies. Russia has been and remains a competitor and an enemy of this country.
Proud of your choice for President of the United States, my husband, Donald J. Trump. And I can assure you, he's moved by this great honor.
Before we dive in, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Melania Trump has practically turned indifference into an art form. While Trump melts down in the wee hours, firing off typo-riddled rants like a man possessed, Melania floats above it all, the picture of serene detachment. Scandals. She blinks. Indictments. She adjusts her designer sunglasses. Public outrage. She's already deep into her nightly skincare. Routine. It's not that she doesn't care, it's that she's carefully curated an entire persona around looking like she doesn't. And let's not forget that jacket. I really don't care, do you? A fashion statement so starkly on brand it could double as her memoir title.
I like to be unique. I like to be different. I think the unique is very rare to find nowadays, and something you want to be inspiration for other people to think outside of the box. I don't like to repeat stuff. I don't like to to follow the people. I prefer to lead than to follow.
President Trump spent last week defending our historical best friend Russia. Trump turned this week to attacking our sworn enemy, Canada. That's right, those syrup-guzzling, poutine-munching, moose-humping hockey sluts have taken advantage of us far too long. Even right here at SNL, American sketch comedy jobs are being stolen by filthy Canadians.
Political analysts scrambled to decode the meaning behind her message. Melania was probably at home, sipping tea and savoring the chaos like a reality show producer who just dropped the season's biggest twist. It was a moment that captured her perfectly physically present, emotionally elsewhere. The living embodiment of, yes, I live here, but please don't involve me in this circus. But here's the real question. Why has she remained so eerily silent through Trump's endless parade of scandals? From hush money headlines to courtroom drama, Melania has somehow sidestepped every question, every camera, every chance to weigh in. Is it a well-honed strategy? Pure exhaustion? A quiet, slow-burning rebellion? Maybe she's mastered the art of selective hearing. Or maybe, just maybe, she's been watching, waiting, calculating her next move all along.
Founder of the Lincoln Project, Rick Wilson. Rick, good to see you. Thank you for being here. You just heard Jay O'Brien fact check some of the press conference, but it was an hour long. I'm wondering what was the most surprising part of it to you, as we have heard some of this for years?
Well, look, I think the most surprising part for me was Donald Trump's energy was pretty low today. This was not the guy selling at the level he did in 2016 or 2020.
But as for the lies, it comes with the Trump territory. I thought the one that claiming he had larger crowds than Martin Luther King was particularly egregious.
Then, boom, the Lincoln Project, masters of the well-timed political grenade, dropped a bombshell so explosive it shook even Melania, the undisputed queen of frosty indifference. This wasn't just another headline about Trump's legal messes, financial fraud, or his ongoing war with the word unprecedented. No, this one hit different. It hit home, her future. And just like that, America's most enigmatic first lady was no longer a silent silhouette in the background of Trump's never-ending circus. She was suddenly front and center, whether she wanted the spotlight or not.
Country really needs to reject Trumpism, not just Trump, Trumpism, this whole political thing, this zeitgeist of stuff that has built up around him, that has laid claim to a popular majority, a popular electoral majority of Americans, to send the signal to the rest of the world that we might actually now stand for these things. It has to be defeated.
Now, we have some pardons here by the President of the United States today. The President has issued a pardon for Nikola founder Trevor Milton. You remember Milton was the former CEO of Nikola. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison. He's been free, though, pending an appeal. His crimes allegedly were related to defrauding investors with misrepresentations about the electric vehicle company that he ran. I asked the White House for an explanation for this. They don't have one yet. I'm also told that there
So what made this revelation different? For once, it wasn't just about Trump's legal disasters or his latest meltdown over so-called rigged elections. This time, the spotlight shifted onto Melania. Was she complicit? Was she a prisoner in the chaos? Had she been quietly mapping out an escape plan all along? The Lincoln Project didn't just drop another scandal. They cracked open the most impenetrable mystery of the Trump era. What on earth is Melania thinking?
Every time Donald Trump says, oh, I'm going to producing tariffs on all these people, MAGA screams out, this is the most brilliant thing ever. We're going to be so rich. The tariffs are so great. And then when Trump himself is forced to back away from the tariffs, what is their response? It's the art of the deal. You don't understand. He's playing 47-dimensional quantum chess. No, he's not. He's an idiot.
That's when the internet exploded. Suddenly, everyone had a take. Political analysts who had once written Melania off as a decorative afterthought were now parsing her every blink like it held the secrets of the universe. Twitter lit up with theories. Was this her breaking point? Was she about to go full tell-all? Had she finally mastered the kind of eye roll so subtle yet devastating it could rip a hole in the space-time continuum? The public, long accustomed to seeing her glide untouched through Trump-induced chaos, wanted answers. And the whispers, oh, they came fast. Faster than Trump could rage tweet at 3 a.m. Anonymous sources, because of course they were anonymous, claimed Melania was furious. Not flip-a-table furious, but that cold, surgical Eastern European brand of fury, the kind of quiet wrath that ends with offshore accounts mysteriously drained and divorce attorneys quietly added to the favorites list. Insiders say she's had enough of the scandals, enough of being dragged into the circus, enough of him.
I remain never Trump. I am not a progressive. I am not a left-winger. I'm not even a Democrat. I believe deeply in this country. I believe in our founding. I believe in our Constitution at a level that's wired into my DNA. What I don't believe in is radical authoritarianism. What I don't believe in is statism. What I don't believe in is deploying the power of government against your personal and your political and your economic enemy.
Then came the million-dollar question. Would Melania respond? Because here's the thing, Melania doesn't react. She vanishes. She retreats into the gilded shadows of Mar-a-Lago, only emerging when absolutely necessary. But this time felt different. This wasn't just another scandal threatening Trump's legacy. It was about her future, her next move. And if the Lincoln Project's bombshell managed to crack her icy composure, the fallout would be bigger than anything Trump could tweet or truth his way out of. When Melania erupts, it's not like a Trump-style meltdown. No all caps, tirades, no 3 a.m. social media spirals, no flailing hand gestures like he's conducting an invisible orchestra of chaos. Melania's fury is quiet, precise, deadly. Eyewitnesses at Mar-a-Lago say her usual look of elegant existential dread had shifted, sharpened into something colder, more calculated. Was it frustration, rage, a silent Morse code for Tiestei? Me out of here? Hard to say, but the energy, absolutely venomous.
Harbaugh with the Midas Touch Network here on day 2 of the Democratic National Convention at the United Center in Chicago. And I've got Rick Wilson, co-founder of the Lincoln Project, with me today.
Hey, Ken.
Rick, how did you feel about last night? I hope you left with the same sense of optimism, albeit a little tired, that I did.
Well, look, I think last night was a bookend on what's going to be a big week. And that bookend last night was all about the transition of Joe Biden and frankly the Clinton era closing and ending, and it was graceful, it was well done, it was a condemnation of Trump, an indictment of Trump.
With Donald Trump, as Rick Wilson from Lincoln Project likes to say, you're going to die. Everything Trump touches dies, and Elon Musk has to feel that. And if we get Elon Musk in financial trouble for his association with engaging in this Trump coup d'etat, then other billionaires may take note, and other billionaires may caution themselves.
Then came the disappearance. Usually when scandal strikes, Melania does what she does best. Vanish. She pulls a political Houdini, slipping behind gilded Mar-a-Lago doors and re-emerging only when the noise dies down. But this time, something felt different. Her absence didn't read as passive, it felt deliberate. A calculated power play, the kind of silence that makes you wonder if she's ghosting Trump, letting him sweat it out while she quietly weighs her next move. Was she watching from a distance, waiting to see how deep the flames would go before deciding whether to step back in or step away for good? The media was foaming at the mouth for a response. The Lincoln Project's bombshell had reporters scrambling, desperate for even the tiniest signal. And what did Melania give them? Classic Melania, strategic nothingness. A silence so loud it echoed, but the tension off the charts. Had she liked a cryptic quote about betrayal? Followed a celebrity divorce lawyer on Instagram, posted a moody selfie captioned, "A queen doesn't need a king." No direct shots at Trump, of course. She's far too smooth for that. But subtle signals, the kind that sends conspiracy theorists into overdrive, absolutely on the table.
Do you feel like you're in a different space now than you were 8 years ago?
I feel I was always me the first time as well. I just feel that people didn't accept me, maybe. They didn't understand me the way maybe they do now.
Then came the disappearance. Usually when scandal strikes, Melania does what she does best, vanish. She pulls a political Houdini, slipping behind gilded Mar-a-Lago doors and re-emerging only when the noise dies down. But this time, something felt different. Her absence didn't read as passive, it felt deliberate. A calculated power play, the kind of silence that makes you wonder if she's ghosting Trump, letting him sweat it out while she quietly weighs her next move. Was she watching from a distance, waiting to see how deep the flames would go before deciding whether to step back in or step away for good? The media was foaming at the mouth for a response. The Lincoln Project's bombshell had reporters scrambling, desperate for even the tiniest signal. And what did Melania give them? Classic Melania, strategic nothingness. A silence so loud it echoed, but the tension off the charts. Had she liked a cryptic quote about betrayal? Followed a celebrity divorce lawyer on Instagram, posted a moody selfie captioned, "A queen doesn't need a king." No direct shots at Trump, of course. She's far too smooth for that. But subtle signals, the kind that sends conspiracy theorists into overdrive, absolutely on the table.
I did, because I saw how they treat him, how the media was against him. I think they are afraid of his strength. And he was leading this country with peace through strength.
Yeah.
So as soon he announced that he's running for the president, everything really changed. And I saw it and I said, you know, this will not be
She was a reluctant participant from the very beginning, practically dragged into the spotlight, all while looking like she had already mentally booked a one-way ticket to anywhere but here. If anything, her role has always echoed that of Pat Nixon, caught in a scandal she never asked for, forced to stand by as the walls slowly closed in around her husband. And now, there's the nuclear option, the quiet behind-the-scenes maneuver, the ultimate checkmate. A single, seismic decision that ends with a headline like, "Melania Trump has officially left the building." Could this be the moment, the scandal that pushes her to finally take a stand for herself, to cash in on that long-rumored post-nuptial agreement, pack up the designer luggage, and disappear into a carefully curated Trump-free future? If so, it wouldn't be loud, it wouldn't be messy, it would be Melania, cold, calculated, and completely in control.
Him in 2020, and we helped defeat many of his MAGA anti-democracy extremists in 2022, and we are coming for them again in this election cycle. Pro-democracy is important. Our movement is important, and that's what Lincoln Project does. And poor Donald, we live rent-free in his head. Why are you so obsessed with us?
One thing's for sure, if Melania decides to make a move, it won't be sloppy, emotional, or spur of the moment. It'll be cold, calculated, and executed with the same polished precision that's defined her entire time in the spotlight. And if Trump hasn't figured out by now that her silence is more dangerous than her words, he's about to get a brutal wake-up call. He's weathered lawsuits, indictments, impeachments, enough scandals to make reality TV look like a Sunday picnic. But a Melania mutiny? That's uncharted territory. And if she's truly hit her limit, the fallout could be far more devastating than any courtroom drama. Because here's the thing, Melania may not say much, but when she does, it's never by accident. And if Trump starts to feel cornered, expect his go-to defense, an all too familiar, barely coherent rant claiming no one has done more for Melania than he has. Maybe more than any husband, some are saying.
Donald Trump, he is a superb manipulator of the gut and of the heart of the folks that he appeals to. And the Democrats, you know, it's cliche now to say they have a messaging problem. They don't have a messaging problem. They have a content problem inside their messaging.
Presidency, and then when he won, they start already talking about the impeachment. The opposition newspaper had the front page story, impeachment is starting. So I always said to him, what is next? So it's in one way you're not surprised, and every event that it happened, I'm thinking, what is next? What they are trying to do? And you always fear the worst.
If she leaves, does she slip away quietly, vanishing into a life free from scandals and drama? Or does she drop the bombshell that shatters Trump's meticulously crafted narrative into dust? Because after everything, the one person Trump has never truly prepared for as an enemy is his own wife.